Should a Christian vote? Yes, and I would definitely say it's a sin if a Christian does not vote. He who knows to do good and does not do it, it is a sin. It says that in the Bible. Listen to what other people say about Christians and voting.
I think it's of the greatest importance that every Christian registers and vote. And I'll take it a step further. I think it's irresponsible to not do so. You know, there's a point where the church is the light. We proclaim the gospel, but there's also a point where the church is the salt. And when Jesus said, you're the salt of the earth, back in the first century, salt stopped the spread of evil because they would rub it through the meat so it would not rot. So sometimes it's speaking up for our faith, and we do a lot of that, but sometimes it's saying, no, this is not right. We're going to put our foot down, and we're going to stand up for what is true. And that's where registering and voting comes. I won't tell you how to vote, but I'll tell you this much: vote biblically. And I'll tell you that inform yourself on the issues, but the main thing I would say to you is register and vote. Don't say, well, I can't do it. No, you need to do it. Let's all do that together.
We Christians who are American citizens bear a particular responsibility, I believe, in learning to think biblically about politics, because we live in a country where ultimate earthly authority and government has been given to we the people. In the Apostle Paul's day, ultimate authority resided in the emperor, so Paul could only pray for government leaders to act justly, 1 Timothy 2, and then encourage those leaders whenever he had the opportunity to think biblically about their role. And so you'll find anytime the Apostle Paul is standing in front of a magistrate, he is going to be urging them to think biblically and to promote freedom. In the United States, however, we the people sit in the ruler's chair, and thus we bear ultimate responsibility for how authority is used. In Romans 13, Paul says the sword has been given to earthly rulers, and in the United States of America, that sword lies at least partially in our hands because we've been given the prerogative to choose whose hand that sword goes into and the limits on how they use it. Surely then God will hold us responsible for how we guide our government or fail to do so in the use of that sword. In our system of government, if we fail to be informed or to vote, we are every bit as negligent as would have been a governor in Paul's day who spent all their time in leisure and never attended to the matters of state. Now, that may sound really good, everybody nods their head, but as it stands, only 14% of eligible adults cast a vote for any candidate in the primaries. 14%. You will say, how did we get here? 14% is how we got here. It's like our friend Steve Noble says, apathy and ignorance come at a very high cost.
Reminding us that as Christians, sometimes I think we feel like our voice is small or we don't have any influence or there's nothing we can do. There is something we can do, and it's powerful. Your vote matters. Invest the energy to select a candidate, to make the effort to travel to the polling place, set the time aside. It's not requiring us to build an organization or to earn a new right or to campaign for something. We have been invested with a vote. Use it for the kingdom of God. You'll make a difference.
So pray, be informed, get out of your lazy chairs, and get to the polling places and vote.